Okay, thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed your break. Just before we get on to the next session, which is a remote session, Luca Collina is ready to join us. I'll just say it again, because I didn't mention before we went to the break, just about the voting in the election, just as a reminder, just to make sure that we've got the reminders on the tables there about making sure that your organisation is represented in the vote at the AGM and board election tomorrow. So this next session, as I say, Luca Collina. I had a pleasure of talking with Luca last week. He's going to talk about technical debt, what it is, the impact on agility and digital transformation. So if we can bring Luca onto the screen, we'll go on to the session.
Welcome, everybody. I can't see the audience, but I say welcome to those that are attending this short and brief session about technical debt and removal. My name is Luca Collina, and I am a transformational and RPA consultant. And this topic came out from two situations that we had to manage when we were supporting companies to sell or to be acquired by bigger companies. So technical debt, and now we'll see, proposes something that is both a risk, but at the same time, opportunity. And what we can do now is to understand what is the commonly accepted and see what we can do. Looking forward to the new competitive advantages that can be achieved through agility and digital transformation. Okay, so just to make summary here, we can divide technical debt in types. There are architectural, design of the IT stuff, infrastructure, and testing. Depends on the size of the company, depends on the organization, but you can find this technical debt in one or all these types, because it depends how complex is the current situation. Causes, well, I tried to put one sentence, no, two sentences. When we start an implementation, whatever, can be hardware, software, then legacy systems, and so on. We need to think about, sometimes we need to hurry up to complete the implementation and test and go live. And sometimes there are workarounds. I am the first sinner in my previous career to ask a quick fix or workaround. And this creates something that can be managed, but after a period of time, nobody wants to put hands on it because everything works. The effects, okay. Many people, or the first proposal was to estimate costs. Costs is to fix or to change softwares, okay, which is fine. However, today the complication is related to the fact that if I don't fix these situations, I am in trouble to help the users to have a more efficiently system of working and automation, and in the end, digital applications. So the value is based on the last 3 points, never forgetting that we need to estimate how much does it cost to put everything in place. So let's say, just to make a quick summary, there are 4 types of technical debts. So we have architecture, design, infrastructure, testing. This doesn't mean that we have only one type of debt. We could have all of them or some of them. The important thing is to understand what are the boundaries that we need to consider. Those is, how can I say? I feel one of the first sinner because I always asked during implementations of legacy systems to find something that was quick, was a fix without asking for new development and so on. So the short-term gains don't pay off in the long term. The effects, okay, we have financial effects, but mostly we have an effect connected with the competitiveness of the company that wants or needs to move, to become agile. I know that it's a buzzword, but I don't find any other substitution. And digital, because these are the 2 points that can create the exploitation of the competitive advantages. Financial costs, maintenance. We come from an experience of a company that wants to sell to another big group. And we have seen that every time that there is an upgrade of important legacy system, they need to take care of the technical debt, because otherwise the upgrade doesn't work. And this can create sometimes a loss of productivity. Why? Because the fixes work, but then when you upgrade, you need to manage also some things that wasn't put together properly in the first place. Costs. Everybody can understand that ops costs are lack of productivity, efficiency, maybe also quality of the transactions and the data. And once that we have understood the financial points, we need to consider also the mood or the status of the employees that are working with something that is based on fixes, because this can create dissatisfaction, low motivation, and so on. Okay, other losses. We live in a digital era where brand is important. As a customer, I had an experience that I was expecting one of my favorite companies for sports equipment to speed up the process and improve the e-commerce, but not only. I'm still a loyal client or customer, but if you don't find a way to speed up without have any constraints connected with the past technical debts, customers can go to check something else because it's faster, because it's clearer. So the reputation is important. And as we said in the presentation, in the introduction, we have 2 ways to gain competitivity. One is to be flexible and to adapt to the market. The second one is to use digital transformation and digital solution. With these 2, we need to consider that the impact is an activation of business strategy and the organizational agility. So we need to give a structure, some tools, IT, digital, to make people work faster and flexible, but we need to have the preconditions that can allow us to install smart solutions. Okay, so in general, we can say that the impacts are slowing down the innovation, because we can think about everything, but we are not able to test with the digital tools our ideas and to create service and so on, or we use different systems that ask employees to manage data and so on. This can be a problem because it weighs down the ability to innovate. Decreasing agility, okay, that a position where you are not anymore flexible is not the age, is because you don't have the right tools to react to the market challenges. Capabilities, here it's easy. You need to think about your competitors and not try to imitate them. Try to understand, make a competitive analysis, looking at what they put in place to be agile and to reach more customers with the digital transformation. This is a reality check more than checking the technical depth. Now, what we can say? There are 5 points. 61 is a summary. I don't need to struggle to maintain my systems, legacy, platform, architecture. I can't, because if I do this, how I can be agile? It's difficult. Enhancing the power of internal IT, or for other, let's say, other smaller companies, medium size or large, maybe that recur to external services, we need to have something that reduces the probabilities to get mistakes and satisfy the internal customers, employees. And knowledge transfer efficiency. There is not so much to add here. In a world where there is asked collaboration, working together, maybe agility to try to deliver something that can be tested on the market, and find a way to manage the output of these tests immediately on the market. And this is something that requires somehow to transfer knowledge to the groups, cross-functional teams, and they must be also efficient. Then we want to grow. We found the market, we found the idea. Technical debt prevent the scalability because we can start immediately. And we need to think about how to remove somehow these problems. Stability and security, now I'm not a technical guy, but you can imagine how many things can be risky if you don't clean the previous situation. Why? But because if you want to move digital, you need to consider also the cybersecurity, because there is more exposure to the web. Or if you can do it, then this is at your risk. The summary is agility, digital, people-centric, because we work with people, and security. Quickly, what is important for me to transfer, based also on my experiences with some clients, is that RPA is a way, let's say, to manage after a deep analysis what can be fixed using robotic process automation. This means that the connection between legacy systems with automation can bypass, it's not a fix, bypass some transactions that have the characteristics to be managed by robotic process automation, and can give in return more than recovering quality data and removing people to do some stressful tasks that are not, they don't have any added value, because you can dedicate and transfer some processes to bots without touching the previous fixes. Recently, and I can say, sorry for this, that I am a fan because I have tested both low-code and no-code applications on some processes with some vendors. When I have seen that the digital platforms can authorize people to do some tasks, reducing the frequency of the task, but having an opportunity to manage data from two digital solutions, choosing from a drop-down menu, that is fantastic. But this is my personal opinion. Now, with the RPA, low and no code, let's say that once, I repeat, sorry, we have made an assessment that is meaningful, we can think about where we can transfer some of these depths to be managed with the LPA. Low and no code is a solution because platforms are over the legacy systems. Sorry. Okay, benefits for every executive. Costs are the main point, and I agree. Competitive edge. But it seems agile and digital has been defined as buzzwords. Maybe. But the reality check says that there are results once you have implemented. So if I have new ideas, new product, service, market targets, and I want to bring and go to the market, I need to be supported. Being able to be supported by digital and flexibility, also combined together, I can be more competitive. The last one, I know that agility is also considered a buzzword, but the reality is that we need to be smarter, work smarter and less harder, and try to find any way to support this flexibility in adapting strategies to the real world. Okay, straightforward, because it's not rocket science, because you need to assess what is your current debt. You need also to think about the priorities. The priorities in the last two cases that worked with some really different clients, the weight was given to the cost. However, at the question, when we can start with RPA, I said it's more difficult, it will cost you more because you put as priority 3, 4. So you need to balance what is between the costs, impact on the current situation in terms of efficiency, impact on employees, people-centric, and then looking forward to what is the next step that you want to undertake, and create a roadmap that must be shared among IT executives, senior managers, to make them aware that there is something that we are going to do that is bringing benefits to the whole company, including people. Conclusions and key takeaways. There isn't much to add, but in addition to the points that I have tried to show and to create awareness, here there is something that is important to understand. There are something that we can drag for other 3-4 years. There are very great IT, digital, and RPA guys outside. The only thing that I would like to suggest and advise is that in addition to give priorities, once you have done the mapping, you have a map, you have priorities, you will always be asked to refine this list. It may happen. And have and connect this list with the different lens. Albeit there is the financial cost, there is the impact on the people working style and efficiency and productivity, and the next steps after the first introduction of the digital in a company. So it's complex, but it requires a very big holistic view. And I leave you all try to think about a sort of a simulation. Let's say that your company where you work would like to acquire another good company. You have been called to estimate the status of IT, architecture, whatever. But you know that you need also to estimate what is the value that can be reduced from the overall price of acquiring this company. That is the mental approach to look at the problems or also opportunities, because you will never be able to change the mind of business as usual if you don't think about another scenario, a sort of auditing of technical debt. Thank you very much for your attention. Hope that you enjoyed.
Okay, thank you, Luca. Do we have any questions for Luca at all? Okay. Okay, thank you, Luca. And yes, thank you again. We really appreciate you taking the time today to speak with us. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.